Hello, everyone. This is David. We're going to address the NACPB Bookkeeper programs. Our programs do one of four things. The first program enables you to learn bookkeeping. The second program enables you to get a bookkeeping job. The third is to help you improve your bookkeeping skills if you're employed as a bookkeeper. And the fourth is where we help you learn how to start a bookkeeping business. Now, those are the four programs. We won't be talking specifically about the programs today. What we want to do is take a few minutes and give you a background as to why we do what we do. It's one thing to share with you in our program, step one, step two, but unless you understand the background, you don't appreciate why it is what we do to help you learn bookkeeping, get a job, improve your skills, or start a business. So let's take a few minutes and talk about that. So let's begin by talking about what a professional is. A professional is a member of a profession or any person who works in a specified professional activity. The term also describes the standards of education and training that prepare members of the profession with that particular knowledge and skill necessary to perform their specific role within that profession. So at NACPB, we're trying to build a bookkeeping profession, but yet there really isn't a bookkeeping profession. And so that's the reason why we're trying to do this. So as far as a bookkeeping profession, there are many employee bookkeepers and independent contractor bookkeepers. In fact, there's hundreds of thousands throughout the United States. But again, there's no bookkeeping profession. So NACPB's mission is to build a true bookkeeping profession. Now, to build a bookkeeping profession, we need to follow a similar proven model. What model can we follow? And so what makes sense, obviously, is to follow an accounting profession. So at one time, there wasn't an accounting profession back in the 1900s. The accounting profession modeled the legal profession. And the accounting profession is the most similar proven model, and thus the reason why we choose. And of course, as we talk about this, it'll make more sense to you. So let's talk about a career, an accounting professional career. So there's basically four stages. Number one, you begin as a student, then you become a job candidate, and then you become an employee, and then you become a partner, or other things, which we'll talk about. So technically, what is an accountant? An accountant is an individual with a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting, and thus they're an accountant. What are the accounting job opportunities once somebody obtains their Bachelor of Science in accounting? They can either go into private or for-profit sector, they can go into the government sector, or they can go into the nonprofit sector. And so typically when you only have a degree, those are going to be your options. But many accountants choose to go beyond that and serve in the public accounting industry. And so they go on and get a master's degree. It's a one-year degree, and it's typically referred to as a MAC. A MAC is a 1 year, that is 2 semesters, graduate degree, and typically it's an audit or tax. Now, as far as a MAC, what that does is that if you're going to go into public accounting, you're going to typically go one of two routes. You're either going to work for a local CPA firm, and a local CPA firm by definition means they have just one office locally, or you're going to work for a Big Four CPA firm, a national firm, a global firm. That'll have, for example, Ernst & Young, or EY, has 750 offices throughout the world. So you're typically going to go one of those two routes. So if you go for a local CPA firm or a national firm, in essence, you're going to have three options. And so you can stay within that firm and work yourself up into a partnership, an owner within the firm. Or you could go out and start your own accounting firm. Or you could actually go to work in the industry you serve, or even for a specific client you've been working with. That's quite common. So let's get specific here. What is a certified public accountant or a CPA? So again, they have a Bachelor in Science Accounting degree. They have a 1-year MAC. They pass the 4-part CPA exam. They have 1 year of accounting experience. Now, as a CPA, you have to get that experience under the supervision of a licensed CPA. They have to pass the CPA ethics exam, and they have to obtain 80 hours of continuing professional education every 2 years. So, as far as local accounting firm services, and this is typical also for national firms, local firms typically work for local companies. National or global firms work for national or global companies. And so within a local CPA firm, you're going to find that you're going to be providing bookkeeping, payroll, accounting, tax, audit, and advisory services. Now, by the way, as far as a national firm, typically you'll be providing audit or tax services. And that's the main reason why those two options are available within a MAC graduate degree. As far as the accounting firm hierarchy, it's basically the same in either a local firm or a national firm. And what happens is that somebody graduates from school with their degree in their graduate degree. They're planning on sitting for the CPA exam. Typically, either a local or national firm will give you up to a year to pass the exam. If you don't pass the exam, your job is at stake. Okay. But what will happen is that they'll start at what's called a junior professional level at the bottom here, and they work themselves up. Okay. And so a junior professional typically performs those services, those tasks for 1 to 2 years. And they are supervised and directed by a senior professional. Now, keep in mind, a senior professional used to be a junior professional. And now they've done it for 1 or 2 years. They move up and they, of course, train the next junior professional. And so when you've done it for 1 or 2 years, you move up and become a senior professional and begin to train the junior professionals. And then, of course, as time goes on, you get into a management level. And so you first become a junior manager. You don't perform as many procedures as you used to, accounting procedures, whether it's audit or tax or whatever the case may be. Okay. You begin to manage the staff. And then after being a junior manager for 1 or 2 years, you become a senior manager. Okay. Now, it's at this point that you really have some choices to make. Some people want to stay if they see that they have an opportunity to become a partner, an owner within the firm. And if so, and they do have that opportunity, they become a junior partner and then later become a senior partner. Okay. But for most people, once they get to a senior management position, there's only so many partnership opportunities available. Accounting firms, like most professional firms, are, if you did the hierarchy, is shaped like a pyramid. There's a few top partners on the top, there's more managers, and then there's more staff. So the shape is like a pyramid, okay? And so the point being made here is that if you don't see yourself becoming a partner, then you will probably do one of two of the things. You'll either want to go and start your own accounting firm, and you'll model it after the accounting firm you came after, or you'll probably go to work for one of your clients, or at least in the industry that you specialize in. Okay, so those are the three opportunities. Now, what I want to do is spin it here as we begin to transition to bookkeeping. And that is that in the accounting cycle, whenever you get into a basic accounting program, the very first thing they do is teach you the accounting cycle. In other words, the accounting steps. So I want to make it a little bit simpler here. And so we only have 7. And so we have, you need to learn to identify financial transactions, then you record those financial transactions, and then you classify those financial transactions. And the cycle continues, and you analyze what they call the trial balance, or all of your accounts, to make sure they're timely, relevant, reliable. If so, you then summarize them into the form of financial statements, a balance sheet, a profit or loss statement, a statement of cash flows, a statement of changes in owner's equity, typically what we call the big four accounting or financial statements. And so then what you'll do is you'll interpret that information and then communicate it to your client. And that's the accounting cycle. Okay. Now, as far as accounting cycle responsibilities, let's go back and look at these 7. So oftentimes people think that bookkeeping and accounting are the same thing, but they're not. Okay. What it is that the bookkeeper primarily handles the first 3 steps in the accounting cycle. They're the ones who do the day-to-day transactional activity. They're the ones who will identify that a financial transaction has taken place. They'll record it and they'll classify it. From that point on, typically it's the accountant who will then analyze the chart of accounts, make sure that those accounts are timely, relevant, reliable, and then they will summarize them into the financial statements. They'll be the ones who interpret the reading of the financial statements, the analysis to the owner, that is the client or the employer. And then, of course, they'll communicate it. So that's the responsibilities, and that's this distinguishes a bookkeeper between an accountant. So bookkeeping is part of the accounting cycle, but it's not accounting. Okay. And accounting is part of the accounting cycle, but it's not bookkeeping. And they're performed by 2 different people. All right. So let's again make sure we're clear here. So what is bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is the day-to-day identifying, recording, and classifying of financial transactions, such as sales, receipts, purchases, and payments. Bookkeeping is the foundation of an accounting system and is critical to operating cash flow because bookkeeping controls the timing of receipts and payments. We make sure that our bookkeepers understand their role in enhancing operating cash flow. What is accounting? So then accounting involves analyzing, summarizing, interpreting, and communicating business information. Business information is communicated through financial and management reports and business performance analysis. Business decisions are based on financial and management reports and business performance analysis. Business information must be timely, relevant, and reliable, since business decisions determine the outcome of business success. And that's why what bookkeepers and accountants do are so vital to the success of companies. Now, you may hear this term from time to time. What is a full charge bookkeeper? A full charge bookkeeper has the knowledge and experience to perform basically every step in the accounting cycle. In other words, they don't have an accounting degree. They don't have a graduate degree. They haven't passed the CPA exam, okay? But they've been doing this for so long, they continue to move up, even though they may have a bookkeeping background. But eventually they learn basically the entire accounting cycle. Okay, so this leads us to the NACPB bookkeeper programs. And so as we introduce each one of these to you, okay, this will help you understand why we do what we do, okay, and why we require these requirements. And so again, one of our programs, we help people learn bookkeeping. Number 2, we help people who learn bookkeeping to get a bookkeeping job if that's what they want to do. 3, the third program, we help employees that are bookkeeping employees at this time, we help them improve their bookkeeping skills. The smaller the business a person does bookkeeping for, the less education, the less training, the less supervision they receive, and they typically need much more help. And of course, the 4th program is how you start a bookkeeping business. And we just don't say, here's how you do it, go do it. Here's how you do it, go do it. We actually give you the step-by-step and give you the assistance to accomplish learning bookkeeping, get a bookkeeping job, improving your skill, or starting a bookkeeping business. Now, if you have any questions on our programs, you're welcome to visit our website at certifiedpublicbookkeeper.org, or you can email us at info@certifiedpublicbookkeeper.org, or you can text us at 224-328-3447. Thank you for your time. We hope this has been helpful, and we look forward to sharing the specifics of each program with you.